What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 40 of the AlaMobile community. And we're finally back here with another race after a long break. But this is still without a new update, as there was a new update in the past few days. So anyways, we're here for the German Grand Prix in Hockenheim. And meanwhile we are already in Q2, as we are now rounding the final corner and coming to the start finish straight. Onto the start finish line we go, and we're 8 tenths behind P1, and we just got hopped in the first turn in the in-lap, and we get tapped on the rear by a car, but somehow we managed to get through into Q3, and here we are around in the final two corners. Went wide a bit through the final two corners, but onto the start finish line we go. And we set 2 purple sectors, a good lap I'd say for now. But in the end, we're down to P6. What a horrible qualifying this was. But anyways, let's start the race. Here are the 5 red lights, and off we go for the German Grand Prix with nearly half a second of reaction time to the race. But somehow we managed to stay in front of everybody, so we didn't lose any positions. Down the inside we go. We have a little look on the McLaren of Lando Norris, but he makes the switchback. No, instead it's Pole David 35 who made the switchback move and is up to P5, and we're still in P6, and we're defending a move from Pierre Gasly in the Alpine, and somehow we can manage to stay in front of it. Instead we try and move on Pole David 35, and we make it. We're out to P5, but we nearly lose the car on the exit, and Pole David is down a few places, and also Gasly is down a few places, and here he comes. Off the track we go, and through goes that gamer 17, and he's up to P5, and now it's a Aston Martin top 6. What a crazy result this would be in the end. We are really lacking on pace, I have the feeling, and we are trying to make a move on our teammate to get past him again, so we're up to P5 again, but it's getting difficult as our pace is really bad on the straights, but it's good in turns, so we will see what we can do, as this track lags a bit on the slow corners. And here we go through turn 1, we defend the inside of our teammate, but he sweeps around the outside and destroys me and gets up into P5, and we're down to P6, and our ERS is pretty much empty. It is empty, and here he comes. I approve that a McLaren man tries to overtake me. I have to defend the inside again, but instead Taco Van Horn makes the move, and we're 3 wide into the hairpin. Oyapov runs wide, and the Red Bull goes through. It's Miguel H, and I'm now fighting against Oyapov for P8 now. What a horrible first lap this was. Now in lap 2. Down the inside we go. We make a small dive bomb, and around on the inside we finally overtake him, and we're up to P8 now, and we're now directly behind the Red Bull of Miguel H. Can we overtake him too? Down the inside we go, and we're up to P7. Next up ahead is Taco Van Horn. Can we also get him to get up to P6 again? Through this turn we go, through the final few corners of the lap to start a new one. But can we overtake Taco Van Horn before he breaks away, as our top speed is really bad? I guess he is already too far away, and a few laps later he comes to the pits, so we'll get up to P6 anyways. And also Oyapov comes to the pits, and also Pierre Gasly, and another few laps later Tofex comes into the pits, the Mercedes man, and around in the final corner we will still stay out for a few more laps, as our tires are still in good conditions. Another few laps later a Ferrari comes into the pits, as you cut the penultimate corner a bit, but run wide on the final corner instead, so it wasn't a good run through the final 2 corners, but somehow we managed to stay alive. And another few laps later a Red Bull comes into the pits. I think it's Max Verstappen. No, it's Verstappen. Then in the last lap it may have been Miguel H. I'm not so sure. But with that we'll be up into P2 and our teammate will come into the pits on lap 17. So around half race done. So we'll lead for at least a few laps, maybe 1 or 2, till we come into the pits, as our tires don't look really good anymore. And in lap 18 our tires really don't look that good anymore, so we'll consider to pit any now and then. But now, exiting the penultimate corner, somehow we get a huge snap of oversteer and run wide, and the car taps me and hops the car into the air, and we lose a so big amount of time. And while we respawn onto the track, someone crashes into our rear and we get a drive-through penalty for that. Oh, this is crazy. This is I don't know what to say. And on the exit of the pits, we also crash into another car, so we get another warning, and this will be difficult now to score points, as we still have to pit because we just went to the pits to solve our drive-through penalty. And not so fair penalty, I'd say. And now also the McLaren of Oyapuf overtakes us, so we are down to P14 and we still have to pit, but somehow we brake late enough to re-overtake him into the hairpin, and we stay in P13. At least a small fight before some places, but we stay out for another lap, as there are both Saubers in the pits now and a few other cars. So we are up to P9 now, and the car hops me again, this time in turn 1, but I managed to stay on track safely. So in the end of lap 20 I decided to come to the pit, and what is going on? My car glitches into the wall and gets tangled around, and we lose even more time. This is getting worse and worse, and after pitting we are 5 seconds off the next car, which is Bortoletto in the Sauber. This is ridiculous. We will not score any points this race anymore. And a lap later, we are further 2 seconds more off him, and it's now 7 seconds. So we are too slow. I think we gotta consider retiring, as this has no sense to continue. So, rounding the hairpin, we made up we lost even more time. It's now 9 seconds, the gap between us and Bortoletto. And a Ferrari is now also lapping us soon. And before that happens, we will really retire the car, I think. No chance to score any points this weekend anymore. So, coming to the stadium section of the lap, rounding the final few corners in the third sector, and we'll come to the pits and retire the car, I'd say. Into the pits we come, and that's it. We're done for today. A sad race ending, but sometimes this also has to happen. So here you can see me sitting next to the track and can't imagine that the race is already over. So here's the race results. My teammate in the end stayed in P6, so at least a few points for our team. And then here is the rest, how it looked like. Bortoletto got lapped in the end. What a disastrous weekend. But here are the Drivers' Championship standings. For me, nothing changes yet. And in the Constructors' Championship standings, also nothing changes yet. We'll see what upcoming races bring.